gosh, how Snoop, God, they're beautiful. So I'm off to Studio Pilates International this morning. Now, I don't do this very often, but last night I had 3 glasses of white wine, stayed up dancing till like 2 a.m, slept in a van, and then just woken up and had an almond croissant. Follow me for more health and wellness tips. So yeah, I'm feeling super well prepared and fresh and healthy and strong. Also coming off the back of my period. Oh, God, what a terrible way to go into a fitness session. Also probably quite dehydrated. Anyway, so I'm going to march there now, get some fresh air in my lungs, march there now, have lots of water. I'm really looking forward to this session. Now, here's the thing. I'm anticipating that it's going to be very different to the sessions I've already had, in that it's a group setting, right? It's a group workout, it's a group kind of fitness, Pilates fitness class, as opposed to the very kind of focused one-to-one personalised sessions that I've had this week. And that's okay. And I guess I'm just being a little bit cautious, a little bit wary, because I'm really terrified of the whole kind of Pilates pick your side kind of thing. And like most things in life, I find myself kind of boringly fitting in the middle, not extreme either way, the middle ground, can see it from both sides. You know what I'm talking about? Very purist, kind of more classical side of Pilates, and the fitness, contemporary, creative side of things. And I'm just very scared of some of those arguments that go on online. So I'm being very careful about what I say. So yeah, I think they're going to be very different, and I'm just really excited to see what this studio is like, to be on a different type of reformer. The lovely chap who I spoke to arranging this, said he'd come and meet me and just kind of greet me and talk me through the differences on the reformers before I join a class, which I thought was so considerate. So I'm really looking forward to. I'm really intrigued actually about what.
Turn right on Pennsylvania Road, then in 230.
Anyway, I'm going to try and wrap it up because I'm on a busy road and I think it's going to be rubbish footage and rubbish sound quality. But suffice to say, I'm poorly prepared for this physically in myself, but really looking forward to it, and I'm so grateful that they're coming to let me join a class and do my little vlog. So I can film a little bit in there, which is cool. So yeah, let's find it. Let's put the phone down, try and find this place. And enjoy my session, and I'll check in with you for a post-match debrief afterwards. All right, okay, bye. Hey, it's me again. Look at me going. I'm doing a Studio Pilates class. So I had found my way to the studio, and I was met by a really lovely lady in their lovely reception area who, yeah, by the way, not a chap, sorry, it was a lovely, lovely lady. She made sure I felt super, super welcomed. She gave me a little rundown of what was going on, what to expect in the class. She made sure the instructor knew that I was there, and I was going to be doing some filming and stuff, so awkward. But that was fantastic. Beautiful welcome. Thank you so much. I felt really, really comfortable, really welcomed. Also, when I went into the studio, I kind of chose this little spot that you can see here at the end of the studio. I wanted to be kind of a little bit tucked away because I was conscious that I was filming and I didn't want to get kind of other participants in so much. Now, the setup that they've got at Studio Pilates is really different to what we're used to, or what I'm used to, I suppose, in a reformer studio. So the way they do it is they have several big TV screens around the studio on the walls, and these TV screens with audio guide you through the setup and what the exercise is. So here, for example, we're doing some little oblique curl-ups. So on the screens around the walls, they'll talk you through it in a super cheesy Aussie voice. It's great. So set up, arms in the ropes, exhale, curl up. So much fun. I felt like I was in an episode of Bluey, Pilates Bluey, if you're a parent, you know. So that was really different. And then the instructor is there, or the teacher or the guide, I suppose, is there to then walk around and be able to offer kind of any little individual corrections or words of encouragement, that kind of thing. And I suppose it's kind of their way around getting the fact that there's lots of performers in one studio, right? And the instructor has therefore a little bit of time and space to be able to kind of offer this personalized feedback. So quite different. The instructor doesn't have to worry about the cueing and the setup and the explanations of the exercises. That's being done by the videos. The instructor is then there to offer the personalized feedback. So I totally see the theory. And you know what? It kind of worked. I think people's kind of initial reaction is to be like, oh, that's really weird. That's really different. And interestingly, when I told my boyfriend about this, who's not in the Pilates world at all, he's like, huh, isn't that kind of just what it was like originally? Isn't that like what it was in Joseph Pilates studios? He's like, isn't that more like what it was originally? And I was like, that's so interesting. But yeah, kind of. Joseph, like I know him, Mr. Pilates, had his set sequences, didn't he? He wasn't kind of guiding people through his different workouts every week. He had a set sequence. You come in, you do the sequence, all the pictures are on the walls, and he's there to kind of stand on your stomach, or poke you, or prod you, or tell you not to do this, or do this better. So I was like, you've got a point. Maybe it is more original. Maybe it is more kind of what it would have been like originally. I don't know. Jury's out. The only thing I would say is personally, selfishly, as a Pilates teacher, I probably wouldn't enjoy doing that very much. I like to change my sequences every week, and I love teaching people and showing people how to do things and finding those cues. I'm just talking for myself. I think I would get bored quickly teaching in this way. I like teaching the movement. As a participant, I loved it, to be honest. I loved it. I had a good workout. I came away with some fresh ideas. I felt challenged. It was awesome. I just wouldn't want to teach that way. Or not all the time. I would have to combine it maybe with some one-on-one work, some private work, or some different style of things. And actually, that's true the other way around as a participant. This was part of my few sessions, my weekend in Exeter, where I had that beautiful private one-to-one session with Georgia, really bespoke, really focused, really technique heavy. And then this felt like a perfect kind of top-up, complementary. If you kind of take all that technique, all the stuff that you've learned, and just move, just do a simple movement class. It doesn't always have to be entirely one or entirely the other. And in fact, I think the best way, or the best kind of combination for training, is to do that. Is to have some really focused guided stuff, some proper get that technique down stuff, learn thoroughly, properly, but then just do a group exercise class. Do one of these group performer classes in between. Lovely, there's room for both. And that's kind of what I came away feeling like I had got this weekend. I had my bespoke session with Georgia, and I'd had this kind of simpler, effective, perfect for a little top up bit of functional movement and training, get my body moving, strengthen some muscles in between. Lovely. Did I make sure to capture my real life thoughts straight after this session? on my walk back, yes. Have I subsequently completely lost that footage? Also, yes. Oh, I promise I'm going to get more professional at this stuff, okay? But for now, it's been about 2 weeks, I think. I'm also going to get quicker at editing and uploading these vlogs. But so it's been about 2 weeks. And I don't really have much to add other than what I've just done in my little voiceover here. I really enjoyed my class with Studio Pilates. I think it's really interesting. I'd be really interested to hear actually other Pilates teachers' thoughts about whether you actually think this format is quite original. Like original, like how Joseph Pilates would have done it in his studio, just having a, you know, there's no teaching of the method. I don't know. Although, you know, the difference is he wouldn't have people new to the studio just coming, they wouldn't know that sequence. So he must have taught them originally, and then once you know it, then you know it. So that's different, isn't it? That is different. Anyway, I really enjoyed my session. I would definitely go back. Studio Pilates have other studios around the country. I think they're mostly in London. I think this was the only one outside of London. I wouldn't solely rely on it. If you're brand new to the technique, I wouldn't solely rely on something like that to learn Pilates as a technique from. But if you do that elsewhere, and you just want to simply move, you just want to get some exercise in, and it's great. Yeah, great. Would recommend and would go back. Studio Pilates Exeter, thank you so much for having me. Since this this little vlog, I've kind of really developed and honed what this project is about. So at this point, I was just getting out there. I was just like, I'm just gonna go do some Pilates in other places. And since then, I've really honed what this is all about. So from here on in, it's going to be a little bit more focused, and I'm really excited about that. It makes more sense. I have an end goal, something I'm actually trying to research and pull together, and I have some more definitive kind of threads of lines of inquiry that I'm going to follow. Some actual research things that I want to learn about and ask other people around. And I'm hoping this project is going to take me to far flung places, flung further than Exeter. And I'm so excited. So if that sounds intriguing to you, hit the subscribe button. It feels so cheesy saying that. But there's going to be some really, really interesting stuff coming on. If you've got any interest at all in Pilates as a methodology, where it came from, what's going on with it now, and what we can do to make sure it lasts in the best way possible. Let's go. Thanks for watching. More coming soon. Bye.